Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget. And now, our grand finale and our week of girly grandeur, taking a look at some pretty powerful girlies in the world of pop culture, as the new saying goes. And I never thought it would come to this. Please, gods of common sense and good taste, forgive me, for I know not what I've done, yet everybody else will soon know what I've done. Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour book, retailing at $39.99. Purchased at Book Barn in Denville Township, New Jersey for $25 as part of a record-breaking haul I did. This being the 35th and final item purchased on that historic day. I never wanted it to be, but now I have no choice but to jump off the deep end and go for it. If you haven't been to the Eras Tour, then you probably weren't one of 10.1 million fans in attendance, selling out 152 stadiums in 51 cities across 5 continents, watching over 517 hours performed on stage, divided into these eras. Not in chronological order, but by order of a set list with a few songs from each of these eras, plus an acoustic set with the most amount of surprise songs and unique song hybrids to get the crowd on their feet and vibing throughout this 3-hour, 45-minute roller coaster ride for the most part. These are the eras: Lover, Fearless, Evermore, Reputation, Speak Now, Red, Folklore, 1989, which would be my favorite era by default, even though I am not a Swiftie! The Tortured Poets department, an acoustic set, Midnights, and we do have the Midnights album that's up for debate in another video. And going behind the scenes with backstage photos, rehearsal photos, costume design sketches, and pre-show warm-up routines. Over 500 photographs from many different stadiums, spanning many different eras. And while they don't specify which stadiums these photos were taken in, you'll find a complete location and date list of all of the Eras Tour performances at the end of the book. You need to calm down. Yeah, I need to calm down. Don't you dare tell me to calm down about this $25 purchase. By the way, this is from the Lover era, which is where you can find the sexy bodysuit, the Versace bodysuit that she sports on the cover and on the poster for the Eras Tour concert film, which gets only one brief shout out at the very end of the book. So maybe all these photos are taken from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, where the concert was filmed. It's a love story, baby, just say yes. Yes, it's love story. This lyric, baby, just say yes, along with the lyric, marry me, Juliet, led to many crowd proposals. The most noteworthy ones getting personal congratulations from Taylor Swift. By the way, my Swiftie friend Tony Lynn Brindisi dragged her boyfriend Zayn to the Eras Tour show in Vegas' Allegiant Stadium. They didn't get engaged. Fully. Along with Love Story, here's another crowd pleaser, Champagne Problems. You had a speech, you're speechless, love slipped beyond your reaches, and I like to assume that these 3 photos are Taylor taken in the lengthy, earth-shattering standing ovations that followed each and every performance of this crowd pleaser. Champagne Problems. Next up, Ready for It. Hey man, I certainly wasn't ready for this. In fact, I was checking out the other 34 items on the day that I found this when I saw this behind me in the boutique section, priced at $25. I was ready for a walk-off home run, and so this is that. And really, some could decide it is a solidly put-together book in terms of photos and personal reminiscences from Taylor herself that begin each era, each chapter, if you will, of this book. Don't blame me. Oh yeah, well I am blaming you, sister, for costing me lunch at the Cheesecake Factory. Had it not been for you, I would have been sitting pretty on that day. This is from the Red Era, and this is the part of the show where she gets personal, awarding her fedora hat to a lucky fan in one of the front rows of the floor-side seating of her show near the stage. This would be the closest she would ever get with her fans now, and nobody would dare think of, getting near her during a date night with Travis Kelce, her NFL tight end Kansas City Chiefs boyfriend, because they will be dealt with. And not in a pleasant way either. It seems like one of those nights, but hopefully there'll be better nights ahead for those people who would dare take such a risk. She used to be so personal with those Swifties. What happened? Anyway, I knew you were trouble, and indeed this book was trouble for me on that fateful Saturday. And yet, it's kind of refreshing to take on any challenge from this last great American dynasty, who for sure won't be the last. It certainly wasn't the first great American dynasty to exist. What about Oprah? What about Microsoft? What about Oscar Mayer Bacon? Illicit affairs. Don't call me kid. Don't call me baby. Well, listen, kid. Anytime I take on a Taylor Swift item, it's an illicit affair because I am no Swiftie. So, baby, this is no walk in the park for me. Yet, one can only resist the non-amorous advances of this Juliet for only so long before they just have to wave the white flag. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought of purchasing an Eras Tour book at any thrift store, especially in my neck of the urban jungle. I live here in Patterson. And yet, after all of this is said and done, there's still no bad blood. Especially when you consider, at the very bare bottom of it all, how Taylor Swift is smoking hot. This was a Target exclusive book, which was to be purchased in conjunction with the vinyl release of the Tortured Poets Department anthology album, containing But Daddy I Love Him, and So High School, and Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, and Down Bad for a Moment I Knew Cosmic Love. And yet I have to admit, because of what follows now, a tribute to all the Swifties in attendance, followed by a grateful bow from Taylor, that this book, for all those Swifties out there, and all those looking for a piece of music tour history, this kinda is out of this world. It's a really solid book. And all in all, worth the $25. I have no choice, and I see no fault. 5 out of 5 claps. I've ran out of my Taylor Swift references and jokes for the day, so all I'll say in closing is, Tony Lynn Brindisi and Zoe Mendoza, and all you Swifties out there, especially in Denville, you're welcome. And the next time I see you pricing a book like this, it had better be for something that would make me jump, and not have me counting to 13 before going to a manager and giving them what for. But still, this is a solid book, and quite a nice way to end our week of girly grandeur. This is Pete Charles Sesko, and I run a YouTube channel called The Thrift Store Rundown, and the mission relays the title Simplicity, to bring Hollywood home on a budget. I've been doing that for 8 years, and on my second time coming to Book Barn here in Denville Township, oh man. To say that I put out a clinic would be an understatement. Not one, but 2 bags full of stuff for $72 total. The prices are fair but firm, all going for a good cause, all volunteer staff, all proceeds to charity, and all of it kick-ass. Well, except for this, I'm not a Swiftie, bragging rights. And for $25, I doubt any other thrift store could touch this for a while. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.